Welcome back to my channel. This is actually some older footage from Christmas week that I never actually got to make a video of. I've just really been struggling with this low back pain. But I wanted to go ahead and post it and post what I did Christmas week. And I know it's like a few weeks after, but it's still good footage and I'm trying to get back on track with the videos. So I've got stuff to make jambalaya here. That's what I bought to make Christmas week. I didn't get to travel, so I just kept it simple. And I also picked up these oranges at Whole Foods. They just looked so cute, and I love the oranges with the stems. They just look kind of quaint, I guess, and kind of picturesque. But all this stuff for jambalaya, I've got chicken thighs, and I like that these are 0 points now on Weight Watchers. I've got this chicken sausage, but I realized this was not actually for the jambalaya, so I'm going to put that aside. And it's just like regular chicken sausage for something else. I've got the Cajun style andouille. That is what I got for the jambalaya, and this is the one that I like here in Seattle. And this is the chicken broth that I got also for the jambalaya. So that's what I got for that. I already have the rice. And I've got the onion, bell pepper, and celery. I've got a lot of that stuff frozen anyway. So gonna keep it easy, use up some of that stuff out of the freezer. And the oranges were really good. They were sampling them at Whole Foods and they were just delicious. So I picked some up. Some of them were kind of rotten. You can see one in the middle over there. This one's cute, but there's one in the middle that's got like a green spot. Those I ended up having to throw away because they were kind of rotten on the inside, but most of them were good and I enjoyed them. It's that time of year to eat your oranges, keep your vitamin C up. I also picked up a piece of chantilly cake. This is something we eat a lot in Louisiana. I think it originated in Louisiana, out of New Orleans, I think, at a Whole Foods in New Orleans, but they had it at our Whole Foods, so I made sure to pick up some chantilly cake so that I can enjoy that while I'm not able to travel, not able to see my nieces and nephews and everyone that I care about in Louisiana. So got to enjoy that Christmas week. And yeah, so easy, simple meals this week. I'm going to make the jambalaya. I've got enough stuff to get me through. Plus, there's always splurges and Christmas parties this time of year. So not worried about going hungry. For the jambalaya, the seasonings I chose, this is what I usually use. It's pretty easy. I've got extra virgin olive oil. I've got Tony's sachets. I've got smoked paprika and garlic powder. I like garlic powder. It's a little more convenient than actual garlic, so we're gonna go with that. I already had the frozen veggies. They were frozen. They were chopped up earlier and frozen probably months ago, so time to use them up. Got my andouille sausage ready. Got my chicken thighs ready. I love it that the chicken thighs are now 0 points. So we're gonna use up these frozen veggies and get this jambalaya started. First, I'm going to saute the veggies without oil to get some of that water steamed out. Whenever you freeze veggies, I've seen on YouTube other people do this where they kind of cook it to get the water cooked out and then they add the oil after that. For these veggies, I've got about half an onion, a bell pepper, or maybe half a bell pepper, and some celery. And maybe I had a little more than that. I don't know, because it's frozen, it's hard to tell. But you can see I've got it all there, all the little pieces frozen. And I just let the water steam out. In real life, you'd probably use half an onion, a bell pepper, and 2 stalks of celery. Maybe a whole onion if the onion's not too big. Once the water steamed out, I went ahead and added olive oil. And this will just help it to brown. So we get that all sauteing together, and it smells really good at this point. I'm adding the andouille sausage, so this is gonna brown too, and then once that's brown, I'll add the chicken. Just a heads up, andouille sausage is spicy, so if that's not your thing, you could just use regular smoked sausage, but I'm a Cajun girl from South Louisiana. I like my jambalaya spicy. At this point, I added the chicken thighs. And I'm kind of rushing a little bit. You could take time to brown things a little more, but I didn't have a lot of time that week, so I was kind of hurried. But I've got the chicken thighs cooking. You want to cook them all the way through because you're going to add the rice and broth after this. This is the point where I added some Tony's just to season the chicken. I hadn't seasoned them or marinated them or anything, so I went ahead and added a lot of Tony's right here just to get that started. I added the broth at this point, and the chicken was mostly cooked through. You can see just a little bit of raw chicken there in the center, but I went ahead and added the broth so that it could start boiling all those flavors together, and then let it simmer and cook down a little bit before we add the rice. I added 1 carton of the chicken broth. I decided not to add the other carton. Here's the point where I added the garlic. I didn't measure, did a tablespoon, but I didn't measure, just measuring from the heart, as they say. But this is where I added the other seasonings. And the ingredient that ties it all together, the smoked paprika. This is so good. Don't skip on this. You can get smoked paprika pretty much anywhere now, but this is a really good addition to the seasonings in jambalaya. Once all the seasonings are added, we're just going to let this come to a boil just to kind of let everything kind of blend, and then just briefly to a boil. We don't want to make the chicken rubbery or anything, and then bring it down to a lower temp and let some of that liquid cook out. And this is what we call a brown jambalaya as compared to a more Creole jambalaya, which adds tomatoes. We're not doing tomatoes here. Not that there's anything wrong. I've eaten tomatoes in a jambalaya and it's good too. But in my part of Louisiana where I'm from, we do a brown jambalaya, which doesn't involve tomatoes. I'm getting ready to add the rice, and looking back, I did have too much liquid still. I should have let it keep cooking, but as I said before, I was kind of in a rush, so I rushed it. But it still tasted really good. I just had to let some of that liquid cook out after I added the rice, which just kind of made the rice a little soggy, but it was still good. I'm not complaining. It was very flavorful, and I ate it all up. And this is the easy way to do a jambalaya. Rather than putting the rice in and letting it cook in the pot, I cook it on the side and then add it. So no worries. You can do it the other way if you prefer, but I just like to do it this way because generally I don't have that much time to spend waiting for the rice to cook out, worrying if every little morsel is cooked or if it's going to be crunchy. So that was a 3-cup pot of rice, and I added a whole pot. So I'm guessing that's around 3 cups. I don't know if it's 3 cups cooked or if it's 3 cups raw. I don't know for sure, but it was about 3 cups of rice. But I just add the rice, and as you see, I had still too much liquid. So I just kept it, stirring it, making sure it didn't burn until a lot of that liquid cooked out. And then we're going to have jambalaya. Et voila, here it is, y'all. It was so good, and I just had to let that liquid cook out a lot more. So next time, I'm gonna just take my time and not rush it as much. But no regrets, I ate it all. I put some in the freezer for later, so I have several containers frozen. With the new Weight Watchers points and the chicken thighs being 0, I got 7 servings out of this, and it was only 3 points per serving. So I call that a win. That is really low point for a meal. And it's the andouille sausage and the rice, really, and the olive oil that I use in the beginning. Everything else is 0 points. So this is a good option if you're someone who likes jambalaya or spicy foods. The andouille makes it spicy. So if you don't like spicy, you can do a different kind of sausage. But andouille sausage will add spice. That's why I didn't add as much Tony's as I usually do. And this is what I got for the week. 7 servings, and I love these takeaway cups. These are the ones you get when you go to the Indian restaurant and you take food home. I love it when I get these cups because they freeze really well. So there it is, guys. Yummy, delicious. I ate it all up, saved some for later. And just to show you, I also used up some food that had been in my fridge that needed to be eaten before it went out. I had some veggies. I had the carrots that needed to be cleaned and chopped. There's my mess right there. It was kind of a messy week. It's been messy lately. I'm still having a lot of back pain and trying to work through that. These are the oranges. So good. I packed them and took them to work. It's perfect time of year for that. And these did not disappoint. I love those little mandarins. I don't think I showed it, but I had some little hummus cups that I had in the fridge too that needed to be used up. So I had the hummus with the carrots, And then the oranges I just have by themselves. But I But thanks for watching. My videos may be sporadic for a while as I'm getting over this back pain. I'm actually facing surgeries, so hoping to feel better real soon. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.